Big fatty girls, boys and my non-binary babies, welcome back to Antics with Ash. We've had a studio change, right? And obviously this won't mean a Ras thing to you lot, but it's the weirdest thing ever. Like, I'm looking out and it's just barren all here. Like, isn't it weird?
It is weird.
Like, as in, obviously, the set still stands as in gorgeously, but...
But we are, it feels like we're, is it Bruce Almighty or Evan Almighty, the one where he, like, shuts the thing and then it's like a million...
that's not what I thought you were talking about.
Do you know what I mean?
About the other one where his whole life is a lie.
No,
and it's a one
Truman
big
Show.
set, yes.
No, I'm talking about the one where Morgan Freeman, like, goes to open a filing cabinet, but it's like a million thingies long, and it's inside this, like, industrially kind of room. That's what it feels like right now.
It feels
what
very
that. Is that Bruce or Evan? I think it's Bruce, the original. Yeah, it's Bruce Almighty. Straight boy references.
Yeah, innit? That was very straight from you.
I've got it 50-50.
Good for you. And get off my set.
Innit?
I want you gay for a reason. God.
Hey.
Guys, you all knew it was coming. This is the big fat Glasto debrief. Guys, before we get into the Glasto chat, it's a big debrief. You are going to die. Ignore my outfit change. I just have to give you full disclosure, just a little niggly bit. This was a gifted trip. It is not sponsored by Spotify and it is not an ad. No hashtag ad here. I don't know where to begin.
I'm glad that we're beginning a week after we've come back, because if we'd have done it when we were meant to, which was on Friday,
we were in deep depression.
I've actually been slay. I've got stronger and stronger every day. It's more that my voice was at war.
Yeah.
As in, it sounded like I'd been just, like, caressing my trachea with gravel.
As it...
Like, there had been no... I'd have had to have, like, found a way to learn British Sign Language very quickly.
As in, guys, when I tell you, it was the most magical... What's that? Lip gloss?
Hair tease, yeah.
It was the most magical time ever. I became a physical vape.
Yeah, and I started to levitate.
Yeah. At one point, Jack was so happy that he turned to me and he said...
No, not to you, to everyone.
Yeah, to everyone. Actually, it was so many people.
We were at the top of a field which felt like a mountain at Arcadia. If you know, you know. It's where that big spidery thing normally is. But apparently this year the spider was on tour. I don't know why they wouldn't just make another one. It's not a real person. But anyway, this year it was a dragonfly. And I was there and I just turned around to everyone. It must have been like 1 in the morning and I went, I think I'm going to burst into flames. As in, he literally went, I'm so happy, I'm going to burst into flames. All my favourite people around me, I just kept going like this. Oh, I'm so happy.
It was
so sick.
So good.
Definitely the best weekend of my life.
Okay, so first of all, so we went with Spotify. We need to preface this to you guys.
Glastonbury 2024, Spotify Live.
Thank you, Spotify. We love you so much.
No, we actually do, as in best band trip ever.
Yeah, and also, I'll be honest, I'm just a girl. I can't be in a tent.
No, there was no way.
It's not for me.
No.
The first night, we're going to take you day by day, but for reference, for first night, I ended up in a tent.
She's a dirty stopper.
My legs gave way. I said, Jack, I'm sorry, I can't go much further than this. Jack said, OK, I'm going back to the house. We woke up, guys.
Not we, she.
Yes, I woke up.
I woke up in a gorgeous bed and then went down for breakfast.
I woke up in a hot, sweaty tent at 9 a.m. to a heavy metal screamo band doing a sound check. I said, nah. I said, nah.
No, time for all this.
No, who's Jordan again? I said, no. So...
This says Glastonbury, by the way. I don't know if you want to just see that.
As in, what's hilarious is those people, we said directly before going to Glastonbury, we said, I hate people that make it their entire personality.
And yet, the self-hatred lives on.
He's wearing a Glastonbury hoodie for Clark's sake, that's it.
I've even brought... Because there obviously are going to be certain parts of the stories that we regale you with that are...
Have you brought props?
Hazy. I brought the bum bag that I wore the entire weekend with me in there so that if I, like, lose any mind, I can kind of, like, touch it like a talisman and be like, OK, remind me.
Right, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
OK, tease. So, let's start with day one.
Right.
First of all, I don't know if you guys... If you haven't been...
Don't go, because then the tickets will run out for those of us who need to go again.
Yes. The sheer size of the gap.
This is what I didn't understand before. You know, when everyone's like, you'll do loads of walking, you do, like, 35,000 steps a day.
But
a day.
And even doing that, yeah, bear in mind my little legs, I'm calling, I'm doing 60,000.
Yeah, so 35,000 steps to me is like 50 plus for you.
Yes,
sure.
as in I was stomping around town.
In your house down boots.
In my booties as well, because I was like, fashion over pain. So my legs have been in tatters. And the fact that we were doing that many steps, and you know we were only in like a quarter of it the whole time.
Yeah, that's what's crazy, I know.
So
There's so many stages we
big.
didn't even see.
What the hell?
Like the scale of a normal festival, even like some of the big ones, is just like a small sixth of the capacity of Glasgow. Like it is, you know, like normal festivals exist in a park that then otherwise just after festival season, becomes, I'm so overwhelmed.
You crying, you know, like the way other festivals.
Becomes like just back to a park again. Like British Summertime in Hyde Park just takes over a little corner and whatever.
Yes.
Glasgow, that's it. It's just like fields of barley and wheat throughout the year, and then pops up the most incredible weekend and then just goes into hibernation again.
As in, I keep calling it Mr. Megorium's Wonder Emporium.
Wonder Emporium.
And it is.
It's splendour and wonder, yeah.
It is. So we got there, day one. We are bougie because Spotify said we're going to give you a gorgeous Airbnb down the road, 5 minutes down the road. No, like
B&B, not Airbnb, as in it's a proper,
B&B. It was like a...
Like a bed and breakfast.
In a pub.
It was so nice. Barry, the owner, shout out to Barry, was such a legend.
Yeah.
Like, oh, God, it was just perfect.
So good. So we got there. We are pumped. I've done my makeup in the car on the way, because we said we can't miss...
We also drank quite a lot of wine in the car on the way there. Well, I did, you didn't.
You did. I said, I need to pace myself. I've got 5 days of this. It's giving these gays are trying to kill me. I said, I'm not doing that.
Whereas I said, the only way I'll manage is if I start now.
Yes, right. So I'm
still going. Let me just have a swig.
Yeah. I'm there doing my makeup in the car because we were like, we've got no time to waste. The minute we get there, we need to set our bags down.
Another club, taxi, 35,000 steps. Yeah, Paula Radcliffe marathon.
Get going, right? So I've done my makeup. We've got to the B&B. We've set our stuff down. We are giddy as tits. You know, when like you've got to somewhere new, you don't know what to expect, you're buzzing. And we were like, okay, where do we go first? That's the beauty of it, isn't it?
Yeah.
The whole like, what do we do first? And also, one thing I will say is, which I think we did well, we basically said we had a few non-negotiables artist-wise.
Yeah, not many, really.
And not many. So, we said there's a few
remember on the pod, because we said however many weeks ago, like, I was like, I don't even think we're going to see anyone, which I'm really glad I said, because we basically stuck to that.
Yeah.
So my big thing was, I'm living my brat girl summer. I'm obsessed with Charli XCX. This new album is actually not just an album, it's like a way of life, it's a religion.
It's a cultural
like the path
awakening
that I will choose to walk for the rest of my life. So I said the only thing I really, really give a shit about is being able to see Charli on the Friday night.
Yes.
Which... How glad are you that I said?
I know.
So I basically managed to convert the squad we were with into massive Charli XCX stans. And I'm so glad I did, because she was at one of the stages. She could have played a way bigger stage, but I'm actually it felt quite intimate that she wasn't at a massive one. But what we heard from the Thursday night, which is the first night, that Bicep, for instance, the DJ, well, we tried to go, didn't we? Like an hour before they were on, and it was lock off already. So we were like, right, God. I cannot risk this. I need to be at Charli like 3 hours
That's not normal for festivals. Like normally, if someone's on at 6, you rock up at 5:30. Right. If that, 1:45, and you're like, okay, they're not on
It's not a Taylor Swift concert where you need to be there like 12 hours.
That's what I'm saying. You're like, what else am I going to do when they're not on? Stand around with my dick in my hands. Right. Like, I don't know what to do.
Which, Rita, we did.
Yes, we did. Well, we did. Lord
knows
we did.
Hands.
Yeah, for Charli XCX, I had Jack's dick in my hand.
But it was fine because there were loads of DJs on back-to-back. Like, I wouldn't have got us to just stand there for 3 hours and twiddle our nips.
I agree.
It was fine.
But the first day was actually quite uneventful, now that I think about it, because we were just getting our bearings.
Little did we know what was to come.
Exactly. So we were kind of just getting our bearings.
Also, we have to say that how much do you talk about?
Chris, no, he is a boyfriend now.
Okay, fine, okay.
Oh, I should probably do a solo ep to explain that at some point, which I will.
But anyway, so we were in a
Boyfriend!
So Chris and his friend Henry were they were camping and they were there the day before, so it was great because we had and also just to clarify, when Ash stayed on the Thursday night, it was
with my boyfriend. Yeah,
it was. Talk about that because unfortunately I did sleep with someone else on the Thursday night.
I did. Ended up in someone else's tent.
And it's
he's an understanding man. It's
I thought you were going to say he's an understudy.
He's an understudy.
He's a swing. So The benefit to that was we were staying off site, but then we had this like base when we got there to be like, right, let's go see the boys.
Yeah.
They'd both been before, which was so helpful because when we lose our minds, it's so helpful to be like, oh, you know what you're doing, please can you tell us what you're doing?
Yeah.
Because normally I'm the sat-nav out of us two when we're on holiday, but I absolutely said,
The
no,
sat-nav was
unfortunately,
very much broken the
I'm going to
entire
send it
4
to the moon.
days.
Yeah, it was a TomTom. It's not been updated for like 10 years.
Yeah.
So that was so helpful.
Agreed.
And we actually love Henry for that thing.
And it was so, that whole having a base of people that are camping is tea.
Yeah.
As in, because that was
Because you can
always...
also cosplay as them. So, like, we get to go to the tents and be like, oh, my God, ha, ha, ha.
Oh, my God, I love
Little
this
do they
tent.
know we have an
Also
actual
us,
mattress.
crisp white bed sheets every night.
They were not crisp and white at all by the...
What?
By the mud on our legs, and we just got straight
Oh,
back into
yeah,
bed.
but that's what I mean. Barry would have sorted that out straight away.
Yeah.
Do you see what I'm saying? Oh, so good. So, first night, uneventful, I would say. As in,
What did we do the first night?
we got our bearings. I remember... What
Tried
did
to
we
see
do?
Bicep, but couldn't get in.
Yes.
So then where did we go? Did we go to Glade?
Yes, do you remember? And that's when I put my hat down for loose change.
No, that was at the Greenpeace stage.
And said
you started doing a jig.
And I started doing a jig.
Yeah, no one put any money in, which is
childish.
Yeah, okay,
Don't
fine.
get that.
Yeah.
But I think this was actually an integral night to our whole Glastonbury experience because that's when we realised, oh,
we're
this place
better
is
than everyone
massive.
else.
Yes,
No.
and also, oh, you can't just rock up 5 minutes before someone's set and expect to see a damn thing.
Listen. If we'd have not known that, Charli XCX on the Friday was on 40 minutes after Dua Lipa had finished on the main stage. Obviously, in my ideal world, I go and see Dua Lipa, love Dua Lipa, then we'd take a 30-minute walk to Charli, get there 10 minutes before, boom.
There's no way.
If we had not have known and experienced firsthand that in levels that stage you needed to be there well over an hour before, my non-negotiable, Charli, would have been missed and I would have gone home.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm really glad that that was a situation. Unfortunately, we had to weigh it up, and for me, the priority was Charli, because I hadn't seen her do a DJ set before. I'd seen her perform at Big Weekend, whereas I've seen Dua Lipa's tour, and I love her, and she's sick, and I'd love to see her again.
Yes.
And part of me did get FOMO, because everyone was so gassed with her headline set, but I still don't regret.
Yeah, everyone has chatted about it a lot.
They have, which is sick, and I'm gassed for her, because I just think she's a legend, but... For me, we did the right thing.
But, OK, let's just swiftly go to day 2.
Oh.
So I've been a dirty stop-out.
I walked home crying. It was quite reminiscent at one point of Siget.
Don't say that.
But this time you were in a... Well, you were actually in a tent both times. It was just that you were in a medical tent at Siget because you were almost dead. Which was not far off, actually,
No, it wasn't far off the first night. My legs gave way.
Yeah.
Completely.
Which is fine, and I allowed for that to happen.
Yeah.
But it did worry me that I was like, this is going to happen. She's going to do this every night, and I'm going to be walking back.
No, and I did say...
Because it takes an hour. It's like 40 minutes to get to where the taxis are, and then a 10-minute drive from the taxi point to the B&B.
Which, bear in mind, I would say... I would never say a single negative thing about Glastonbury ever. If I had to say anything, it would be, imagine having to do a 1-hour walk after every night out.
Which I personally love. Because it sobers you up by the end. You feel really skinny going to bed. You wake up without a waist.
Facts.
So I'm actually so pro it.
OK, me personally...
Which is why yesterday I did the same thing when I came back from Shania.
I was walking home every night like this. All of our footage just...
Yeah. Legs akimbo.
Because I was like, I can't go on.
My God, was it worth it?
My God, am I skinny? So
second night, I was at breakfast. So there was a little squad of people that went with Spotify.
Yes.
And I was at brekkie, I think, with Brooke and Lewis and Tom. And you just come in and go, hello, everyone. I'm ready to do it all over again, because you'd had about 3 hours of sleep in the tent and then come back to the hotel.
So I had to that morning.
And the breakfast was so nice.
We got woke up by the Screamo heavy metal band.
Can't relate.
I then said, Chris, you need to take me back to the nice Spotify house. I can't do this.
Yeah.
He said, OK, I'm going to walk you there. So we've done an hour walk in the morning. Bear in mind, think about it. So I look on my health app in the morning, I've already cleared 6,000 steps.
Yeah.
It's clarting 10 a.m.
Yeah.
Can you imagine that? So I get back, on
the Sunday at 8 a.m. we were going home, I'd already done 16,000 steps.
I know. How mad is that? Because they all just roll over because we just don't go to bed. So... I got back to the spot of my house and it was the most dirty stop out I'd ever looked because everyone having a gorgeous continental breakfast buffet. I get in wearing Chris's jumper with my cowboy boots. My hat is all askew.
But also no one knew at that point that you had a boyfriend. Like,
yes, everyone
So when everyone was like, where's Ash? I was like, oh, she stayed in a tent. And I thought, I'm not even going to tell them the actual, like, I'm not going to add the context of she stayed with her boyfriend. I went, yeah, Ash is a bit of a stop out, actually.
Because you were annoyed at me.
I wasn't. I was like, I had to come back myself, and then before you arrived back, I was like, particularly to the Spotify team, I was like, guys, just for context, not that it would matter if she was a slag. We love slags, but she's not.
Yeah, agreed.
Like, okay.
So I stomp in at 10 a.m. while these lot are having a gorgeous bougie breakfast, hat askew. I was like, hello, guys, I'm ready to do it all over again. They were like, where the fuck have you been?
You've looked worse at that time in the morning, I will say. The fact you slept till 10, you looked bad, but you didn't look like...
I didn't look that bad.
No, I said like a strong 5.5, which you could have been a 2.
Really? I think that's really good.
You look fine.
I felt like a 0.1.
Yeah.
I felt bad.
Yeah, but you looked fine.
So then... we get our shit together, we go, right, club, another club, festival, taxi, let's go. So we get straight back into the venue. Where do we go?
Straight to Sugar Babes. Again, got there 10 minutes before they started.
Second day was Sugar Babes?
Yeah, because they were the Friday, because they were flying away. I remember, they were
Oh.
So we... Also, my brother was there with all his mates, which was sick. And we actually...
it was so nice.
At festivals, I feel like, particularly of Glasgow size, you end up being like, yeah, oh my God, I'd love to see you. And like, unfortunately, there were some mates I just didn't bump into. Like, you'd often have your phone away. We're also mindful that we only have the charge when we get back to the hotel. So like, I'm not constantly on my phone, I'm not doing stuff, it's away. And so the fact that we we arranged to see Billy and his mates, and then it just happened that like every day it just made sense to see them, didn't it?
Yeah, it was so cute. And we always happened to be in the same vicinity, which was good.
And his mates are all legends, so it was just lovely. But yeah, we got to West Holt stage, which is where Sugar Babes were, which is a big stage and a big audience.
Oh, we have to clip this video in because it's so funny.
And we could not get in for love nor money. There was a huge ice cream van that we were just standing next to. I could slightly see over some people. Obviously, Ash is there, like, she might as well have been at the swimming baths. Like, it was pointless.
Yeah, for all I know, Beethoven could have been on. Like, I've got no idea.
Which he was an hour before, but we missed it.
Fine. So, bear in mind, I'm 4'11". Like, what hope do I have at festivals anyway?
Or just in life.
Exactly. And there's a clip, we'll put it in because it's so funny, and it's just Jack panning like this, and me going, who's on?
Yeah. Girls Aloud, is it?
Yeah, literally. Muchie is looking well.
In it.
So
but they were great.
Yeah.
And they always get the audience going. That's something we need to learn, because it's the same thing last year or the year before. Like, they just did a way too small stage and it was lock off.
Yeah.
Like, they need to, honestly, they could go on Pyramid Stage and they'd get the audience for it. It was the same thing with Avril Lavigne's audience was like, she was in the wrong place too. She should have been somewhere more.
Agreed.
So that was that. And then what did we do in between Sugar Babes and anything else? Did we just... Oh, we were in the Latin tent for ages.
Guys.
Yeah, doing the split.
There is a Latin... Nah, this is mental.
There must be an everything tent. I feel like, honestly, you could, like... I'm sure there was specifically, like, a Venezuelan tent and a Bengali tent. Like, it was just the best place on earth.
There was a Latin tent where they were supposedly teaching salsa. A guy, nothing about this was salsa. It was this big black man on stage, so lit though, as in like, he was iconic, but he was just going, hoo, 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 to random Afro-Yardi music with maybe a slight Latin, like,
and then
twist every now and again. But when I tell you nothing about this was salsa, people were just picking each other up and
that man in the denim shorts.
Dry humping each other, and they were like, everybody come to the Latin tent.
And then 40 metres away, less, you've got a tent that no one's watched anything at, which is Norwegian Viking music. And which we lost our minds to.
I loved that.
As in, the whole thing is like...
It's bizarre.
A bit of a fever dream, yeah.
Yes, it was bizarre. So
that was that. There's a big group of us there, which was really lovely.
Yeah.
My mate Archie joined us, which was cute. Like, it was just a lovely little... It
all starts going a bit west now. Because, okay, we need to speak about... So you know that new Drake song, BBL Drizzy?
Oh, God, yeah.
BBL Drizzy.
But it's not a Drake song, it's a Drake diss. He's not on it.
Oh, yeah, shit. It's actually not... Yeah, shit, I forgot about that. It's not a Drake song at all.
BBL, so
yeah, it like... Wait, it's not a Drake song, but BBL Drizzy. We changed... For some reason, we'd had loads of bevs by this point, and we went, BBL fuckeries.
No, was it not BBL Trilby first?
No. Was it?
Because we obviously need to talk about the Trilby.
Okay.
So maybe it was Big Girl Fockles.
Okay, I'll tell you what. I know exactly how to segue into this.
Okay.
Can we talk about the difference between Americans and Brits at festivals?
Oh, it's night and day.
As in, it's hilarious. In my head, yeah, Americans, Coachella, it's like, Bella Hadid, fringe skirt, everything's quite demure.
No American has ever had a pint of piss thrown at them at a festival, and it shows.
For sure.
Like, you have not been to a festival unless you've been doused in urine.
Yeah, and loved it, by the way.
The first festival I went to was V-Fest in 2011 or 13, because Beyonce was playing.
Oh my God, V-Fest.
It was the only time I've ever camped, which is why I have a rule I'll never camp again, because someone pooed on my tent.
Exactly.
Take that, California.
As in, it's lit, though.
Yeah, exactly, and it's made me the man I am today.
And what I mean is, British people are just clarted at festivals. Like, it's
we're all clapped.
Yeah,
That's
we're all
the charm.
so clapped. It's almost as if...
The worse you look, the more fun you're having.
Yes.
Whereas in America, it's like, I had an amazing time because look at these photos and these gorgeous, frilly little outfits.
And my photos got maximum engagement, and everybody loved them.
Whereas ours is like, if you don't lose your phone... Have you been to a festival?
Did you even have a good time?
Yeah, agreed.
It's almost like, for British people, it's like, how can you... The goal is to be the worst version of yourself
Agreed.
At a festival, and then you've done it properly.
Totally, and by God, were we the worst versions of ourselves.
For example,
Tick.
I walked around all weekend with a fake moustache on.
Yeah.
Nobody said a thing.
Right.
Everyone was like, that's lit. That makes so much sense.
Yeah, the only thing they said was just like, oh, nice moustache.
Yeah. As
Rather
in,
than like, what a peculiar thing to do.
If anything, it got complimented. Everyone was like, yeah, that's lit. That makes so much sense.
As in, the doors you opened with that moustache should be studied, yeah. I think we got
Agreed.
into rooms we shouldn't have done thanks to that.
We need to talk about this. Jack, so, before we left my house for the festival, Jack found the old plastic wrapping of an Easter egg.
Yeah, like container, not wrapping, as in like...
Oh, yeah, like an actual container.
big Easter egg that would be within its own metal foil was encased in like 2 perfect sides of plastic. But the plastic, as a half dome, had a little trim around it, maybe about 1 inch long. And I said, God, this looks like a trilby, a minimalist trilby, in fact.
Because it was transparent. So minimalist was...
Just very almost
obviously,
like...
it's not a hat, right?
Anything's a hat if you try hard enough. So, therefore, I was like, great, I'm going to take this with me and make it my entire personality, which obviously, reader, I did. So we took it with us. So bear in mind, we've got 2 boys traipses around everywhere, bless their souls. You with a moustache on, me with the minimalist trilby. The only problem was, when we then got to Charli XCX and was raving my tits off, I got so warm, as I often do, that I started to condensate inside the trilby.
Oh, my God.
And it actually turned into a human terrarium.
So all the videos now of Jack at Charli XCX are him with this minimalist trilby with pure condensation. You could have fried eggs in it. It was mental.
You know, like at the hairdressers when they put a thing on and make sure like your perm holds and all that shit?
Yeah.
That's basically what it was, but without the electricity attached. I was the electricity.
It was so funny. So every piece of footage that we have...
But I didn't realise it was a terrarium until way too late. Like the day after, we were like, oh my God, look at these funny videos. And I was like, was I emitting steam?
But once again, I love British people for this.
Yeah, Americans
because
never.
Everybody went to Jack.
Love your hat, mate.
Fucking hell, mate, where'd you get your hat?
Yeah, innit?
And he went, it's a minimalist trilby.
Yeah.
They went, that's sick, like, that's it.
I had random people DMing me saying...
Where'd you get it from?
Have I just seen you with Tupperware on your head? And I said, no, it was a hat, get a grip.
It's a minimalist trilby.
Yeah, exactly. I'm a hat maker, you're not.
Well, yes.
But, yeah, my God, it was a real...
It was so funny.
My only regret of the whole festival is that we didn't bring that back with us, and there was a conscious decision. It made it the whole festival. We took it on every night out.
I know.
And at the very end, when we said bye to the boys at the tent on that final fateful day, I took one last photo of it refracting the sunlight. It was absolutely beautiful.
Oh, my God.
Like a prison, like the Pink Floyd album.
Guys,
that famous
no. There was a point where Jack was so fucked, yeah, he has condensated the entire trilby.
What are you talking about?
He took it off and he looked at it and he went to me, whoa, I've never seen anything that
I've seen beauty before, but this is a discovery.
But this is a discovery.
Yeah.
He went into a little corner by himself, Can you get up what you wrote?
Oh my God.
No, you have to find it. You
I
have to
forgot
find
about
it. I don't know what happened, but he turned into Shakespeare for this 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Everyone is like deep in the rave by this point. This was not the time to be doing this. He said, I've never seen anything more beautiful than this Trilby.
Right.
He went into a corner of the festival by himself.
I don't remember.
I'm just looking at him and he's like this.
Yeah, let me find it. Right, wait.
And I went, is Jack all right? Like, what's Jack doing? He had written a whole sonnet just about the Trilby.
So I'd put a photo up of the Trilby with steam in it, and I said, this was at 2 a.m.
Is that the time?
Yeah, it's exactly 2, dead on, which feels quite poetic. What you see before you is the condensation forming inside the minimalist Trilby, an art piece exhibiting the downfall of modern capitalism, etc. Then, at 2:47, for lovers of the Trilby, fear not, for she lives to see another day. But this evening, her condensation was akin to a terrarium, and I'm not at Glasgow to start fostering amphibians, so we'll reunite again tomorrow. Kiss, kiss. And then...
Who the hell finds the words at 2 a.m. when they're off their clock to write that? We were in tears the next morning. He went, Ash, have you seen what I've written about the Trilby? I went, what?
No, not even. I think someone else pointed it out, and I went, oh, rah, what have I said?
Yeah, because we didn't even know what we'd posted. And
then
I went,
I went,
what?
Yeah, obviously. I've been approached by Warner Brothers to turn it into a 3-part film.
Oh, I fucking hope so.
And then this was on, so 1st of July this is at 5:53 a.m. Look how gorgeous that is. And I put, the song is A Grand Finish from Bridgerton, because I'm switched on.
And it's just the Trilby in the sunlight.
Which actually is so poetic. That sounds like a Lord song, doesn't
I
it?
agree,
Trilby in
it's
the
really
sunlight.
good. So, to be fair, the night only got... I can't believe the night got better from here on out.
The whole festival my life's got better every day
I agree.
since.
So, I'll be honest, I wasn't a Charli XCX stan.
No.
I know. And I get it. It's homophobic, it's childish.
But it's just that you haven't really listened to it. It wasn't that you listened and didn't like it.
No, it's just I didn't know her stuff.
I've only massively come around to this album. It's changed my life.
When I tell you that her set was a spiritual awakening. Jack turned around to me at one point and I went...
Yeah.
I'd stopped moving. I'd frozen. I was frozen in time.
The only things working was your cochlea and the stirrup. Like, the inner ear was working over that.
She doesn't give a fuck.
It's iconic.
She came on, she went, Glastonbury, how the fuck are you all? Her fiancé just did the maddest set of life.
He's a sick DJ,
And
he works on loads of the songs with her, so they're like such a good
was literally
pair.
like, I turned to Jack and I said, what the fuck? I said, my body is vibrating from the inside out.
Right.
And it was madness.
My head was starting to boil inside the Trilby.
Of course, because you had your Trilby on.
Yeah.
And I was literally... But it's like such fuck you, like hot girl summer music.
Precisely. Then she brought out Shy Girl, then she brought out Romy, then she brought out Robin and played...
Oh my God, I almost forgot about all that.
As in, it was just...
It was
unbelievable.
So good.
And we'd been trapped in that area. You couldn't even go out to the toilet, otherwise you wouldn't get back in because of the lock-off.
Which is exactly what I wanted.
Like 2.5 hours.
We were at the front. We were front row.
We were like 2 people back from the front. It was amazing.
It was so
Because normally I don't really give a shit about where we are for anything. As long as I'm fairly tall, I can see over stuff, you can watch the screen, whatever.
Yeah.
There weren't screens at this one. And I've never, ever been so happy that we were there so early. It was amazing.
Fantastic.
Everyone around us was good vibes. I will say in general, that's what I found about Glastonbury more than any other festival. I just felt like everyone was good vibes.
Oh,
like
we
you
didn't
bump into
meet
someone
one
and it's like, oh my God,
person.
sorry, both of you are, rather than like some festivals, and it's like, dickhead, get out my way.
We didn't meet one person that didn't instantly become our best friend.
Correct.
The entire festival was the girls' toilets, wasn't it? It was just so loving.
It should
God,
be
you're
called...
sick. God, no, you're sick. Do you want to come with us? Yeah.
Girls' Bathroom Brie.
It was...
Is what it was.
Yeah, it was so good.
It was just unreal.
So, then the night got really funny and weird.
Then we got stuck in the barricades. That was the Friday night.
Yes, and we went to Down Low.
Oh my God, that was the Friday.
That was Friday.
Right, but then also we invented cheekiness that night, so that's important to discuss.
Oh, God.
So Friday was... Shangri-La is the area, which Sarah kept calling Sri Lanka, is the area of Glastonbury where most of the, club... there are literally clubs. It's just hard to... But more than just that, there's loads of other stages, but it's very much like the late night thing. Most of the music stages where, Dua Lipa and Coldplay and all that play, I think go on till, maybe 2-ish, something like that. Whereas the other ones go up until 6. So everyone's heading towards the southeast corner. Yeah, exactly. We're just getting started at 6 a.m.
Yeah.
So we head down to Shangri-La, the southeast corner, and every direction we go, it's like, this has been cut off for like safety reasons and overcrowding, please go to this other one. So that was the first time where I was like, shit, is this just going to be what the whole festival is? Like, we walked for about half an hour to 3 different entrance points, and like, no, you have to go to the other one. And then we got stuck at this barricade.
And it feels a bit like...
apocalyptic.
Yeah, it feels a bit like zombie movie. Like, everyone's just mash up, trying to find the next destination for the party. Everyone's just like this. They're like, no, this bit's closed off. We were like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And we were scared at that point that the whole festival was going to be like that.
That was the end of the night, yeah. And like, oh, OK, so what then? We just have to, like, leave areas way earlier than we want to make sure we can get somewhere. So we got stuck at this barricade. It was very much giving Les Miserables. And they were basically just like, it's not like definitely shut off, but it's indefinitely here. And a lot of people around us were like, right, that's it, I'm going to bed, we've been here 20 minutes. I somehow dug deep into my soul. I think it was the spirit of the terrarium.
Yes.
And I just said, the whole weekend, and since, it's been a week, positive mental attitude.
Yeah.
That was my whole thing. I was like...
And it worked.
Yeah, it really, really does. Like, I guess it's like manifesty tease, but it was basically tell yourself, and it wasn't even delusion. They had not said... guys, we're shut all night, so don't bother waiting here, you know, don't waste your time. They said, for now, we've been told to hold you. And I went, OK, that's fine. And it's
and we had
3.
Boy, did we have the best time ever in that queue.
In that queue. So then Ash realised she had this epiphany that to get by in life, one must be cheeky.
Basically, I was off my clock. I'm looking around me. Everyone was a bit aggy at this point.
Yeah.
And I just
But even that, like, aggy by Glastonbury standards,
they weren't actually aggy. Everyone was just wanting to continue the party.
Yeah, tea.
I'm off my clock and I look around and I realise there is a distinct lack of cheekiness in this queue. And guys, when I tell you this became my whole narrative of Glastonbury.
No, just life as well.
Of life. I basically...
I'm PMA and your cheekiness.
Yes,
and it's,
I
look
realised...
where it's got us, in this shack.
I realised you can get anywhere in life if you're a little bit cheeky.
A little bit cheeky.
I said to Jack, think about it. So many times in life when I want something that I know is just a bit on the edge, I go to someone and I say, oi, can I be cheeky? Immediately I see their face go, yeah, of course you can be cheeky. Everyone loves cheeky.
If you say that with a little bit of a smile, it's the same thing as well of saying, like, when we get into a taxi and say good friend.
Yes.
It's just that little, like, smirk on your face. It's like, we've
you just
crossed
get
a nice
away
boundary here.
with murder.
Yeah.
So I said, if we go up to pretty much anywhere tonight and say, can I be cheeky, but will you let us through there? They said, oh, bloody hell, go on then. And I said, that's it. I've cracked it. I've cracked life.
Da Vinci Code team.
That's it. Da Vinci Code has been solved. Don't worry. You don't need to look any further. I solved it single-handedly.
100%.
Everyone needs to be a bit more cheeky.
Agreed. So, at that point then, the barricades opened.
Yeah.
And obviously, it's that like thing, I don't know if you've ever lost your phone. Like, when I've been on a night out before, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm really drunk, I've lost my phone. I did it in sixth form, and I just remember thinking, I don't have the money to get it. No, but I remember, like, so distinctly being on a night out when I think I was 17.
Yeah.
Which, obviously, I don't recommend, because you should be 18 in the UK.
Drink responsibly.
Booze brands. And I lost my phone.
Yeah.
And I was distraught. I was like, well, I don't have, 500 quid to replace it at that point, whatever.
Yeah.
And then it got handed in behind the bar and I found it. And there's no feeling quite like that euphoria because you've prepared yourself to be like, well, my life's done.
Yes.
I don't know what I'm going to do with this hell. So in that situation, I think even though I was PMA, I was still a bit like, it is possible we're in this queue for an hour and a half and then we just have to turn around, go home, drink the boys 10 and then go to bed, it's fine. But when those floodgates opened, my God, that is a serotonin.
It was like...
serotonin boost. Like
it was a serotonin boost.
Serotonin boost.
It's actually a serotonin boost.
A serotonin boost?
It was actually a serotonin boost.
It was actually a serotonin boost. It was fantastic as well what it was. It was a serotonin
It was like prison release day.
Every synapse just started releasing.
Everyone went, wah. We ran, okay? We get into this queue for a club called NYC Download.
Oh my God, we've got so much to talk about.
I know. So Is NYC Down Low a gay club?
Yes,
Is it? Or is it just like, there's a big gay community that goes there? Or is
No,
it
it's
a
gay.
club?
As
Okay.
in, you don't have dark rooms in non-gay clubs.
Well, I don't know because my whole life is gay clubs. So.
Yeah, but like imagine if you were like at Tape and there was a
Okay,
dark
fine.
room.
Yeah, you're right. Okay. God, I've got so much to say. So we are in the queue for this club. I'm not going to lie. At this point, I'm the only person keeping this ship together.
Yeah, which is wild.
Which is what, think
never
about
you.
that for a minute.
Like 3 big boys.
Three
and then
big
our
lads.
small matron just carrying us
And
along.
I was like, I'm the only piece of glue keeping us together at this stage. These lot were falling apart.
We were a slipping wig and you were a very, very firm glue.
Yeah. The queue was so long.
Yeah, it was.
We are very clotted.
Yeah.
At one point...
It's 4:30 a.m. when we got in the queue, knowing that the club shut at 6. We only had an hour and a half in there, but by God, an hour and a half.
So we were
that's
like, we're going to make
Emporium
it
at
the
this point,
best hour and a half we've ever had in our lives.
And we did.
We're in this queue. At one point, the boys went, you forgot where you were and you thought that we were in the queue for Nemesis Inferno.
I felt like I was at Thorpe Park. I don't know how to describe it.
So
There was
Jack
just
kept
so many
going, is
twists
this
and
Thorpe
turns.
Park? I went, no, Jack, it's not Thorpe Park.
Every time I looked at the queue, I'd look at a point in the queue and it would just, you know, like on GTA when things load as you get there?
Yes.
It just looked like it was doubling every time I looked at it.
It was mental.
Yeah, it was.
So we get into the club finally. Oh, and also, the whole thing of getting into this club is you have to have a fake mustache.
Yeah.
So...
Win-win.
Cheekiness,
Next
right?
year you'll have to have a trilby.
Yeah, it is. So we all have our moustaches on.
Yeah.
We get to this club. It is a wonder emporium.
I've never been to a club like it.
It was amazing. The music.
It was all slightly on a slant as well. Do you remember? It was like...
Yes.
Everywhere you go at Glasgow...
Because it's on hills.
It's slightly on a slant.
It's slightly on a slant.
So you're already feeling a bit knocked out.
Yeah.
And then you're having to do, like, Pilates in the club.
It's so good. Have you ever seen a meme that's like, headphones isn't enough, I want the music up my arse?
Yeah, I want to be able to bite it.
That's what Glastonbury is.
Yeah.
Every place you go into, the music is up your
As in,
anus.
that's why, on that final day when I started eating my hand, I actually need to start eating the music, not just the speakers. Like, I wanted, like...
So we are at this gay club, NYC Down Low. It is a magical land. The music is thumping,
Couldn't tell you a single song, but who cares?
Who cares?
It was,
so we're just
I felt like I was attached to an IV of the most perfect energy ever. Yeah, tunage, but also...
tunage
like,
days and a fun time, IV drip.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Rumour has it, it's still in there.
We are going for it. We're dancing, we're two-stepping, we're going mental.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, no, guys, bear in mind, my literal boyfriend turns to me and goes, shall we all just take our clothes off?
Because there also were a lot of people who were topless at this point in there.
Bear in mind, my very straight boyfriend in a gay club, I look at him and I thought, my God,
You're a
I've
king.
never wanted to marry you more. King.
Ally. You found the real one there.
Ally. So he goes, should we just take our clothes off? I went, do you know what, bub?
Yeah, maybe let's just stick to tops.
I think let's start with the top. Let's see how you feel after that.
Yeah.
He went, all right. He's got a mustache on, by the way. He takes his top off.
Oh, a big, full-on...
Yeah. Everyone's got their top off, not me, obviously.
No, and I
just have my tits off.
Which, tits off?
Tits off. My tits clean off.
Ash threw her tits across the dance floor. I caught them in my mouth.
The boys have got their tops off. We're all dancing. 5 minutes later, he says to me again, now is it time to get naked? I thought, this is the best place on earth. In my head, I thought, take it all
of course
off.
it is.
Who cares?
Get it out. But that didn't happen. But what did happen was you and Chris needed the toilet. So Henry and I were still dancing there, whatever. You go off for about 5 minutes, and I was like, I feel like we've lost them to Hen. I was like, I also need a wee. Like, can we go to the toilet? He was like, yeah, of course. So we walk to the toilet, and we go in, and I see all these boys coming out of the toilet, and actually there's one of them who, I didn't tell you this, but I know from London.
Oh, right.
I was like, oh, you're all right, babe, and he kind of like gave me a bit of a glance, and I was like, okay, that's weird, I don't know why, like, whatever.
Right.
But I was just like smiley and nice. So we walk in and go, I'm not sure, and then you and Chris come out.
No, guys, when I tell you...
Henry at this point had said to me, I don't think that's the toilets.
Our vision is blurred by this point. There's so much going on in this club, you can't really work out a thing. No. All I was looking for was a kind of dark little alleyway type thing.
Well, Lord knows you found it.
In the club that looked like a toilet. You know, like I was following anything in the corner that looked to be somewhere where the toilets were. I get to this little bit of the club and I'm looking around, I'm thinking, bloody hell, it's dingy yet sexy in here.
Right.
Can't work out are these the bogs? There are about 200 naked gay men in front of me. Again, that's me on a Tuesday.
Yeah, that's a dream.
So I'm just thinking this is all very normal.
Yeah.
These must just be super sexy toilets.
Right.
So,
Just piss where you want.
in it, who cares? Shit on the walls, see if I give a ass. So I've gone to all these gay men that are just naked. Hello, friends. Is this the way to the toilet?
You're being cheeky.
Yeah, I was being cheeky. This gay man looks at me and goes, oh, baby, no. This is not the gay toilet. This is...
No, not the gay toilets, he said.
No, he said, oh, baby, no. This isn't the toilets. This is the gay sex room. You are in the wrong place. I looked at him and I said, oh, baby, I'm in the right place. We were...
With Chris, your boyfriend.
With my boyfriend. My boyfriend went, hush, babe, don't think this is the wrong place. I said, it looks lit in here. We should go.
So these two combined out, like, just smiling away. Head in the clouds.
It was
head and out,
so
like,
funny.
Yeah, I think let's just go down.
These two are going, yeah, Ash, I don't think that was right. I think you get out. I'm smiling ear to ear like a Cheshire cat. I went...
You've just seen so many knobs.
I went, this place, I've just seen 80 knobs.
Right.
For free. I went, this place.
Yeah.
It's mental.
It was so good.
So we get out of NYC down low, because it will eventually shut, sadly. We were there.
And the sun has come up. The sun had come up whilst we were in the queue.
We were in the queue and the sun was rising.
And the sun was very much up.
Yeah.
So then we come out at 6, go back home, have a great sleep, and then we're on to the Saturday. What even happened on the Saturday? We saw Disclosure at night. Who did we see in the day? Burna Boy and SZA was Sunday.
We didn't see many people in the day, I'll tell you why, because it was such a big night.
Yeah, we slept through and...
Yeah.
Makeup and whatever. So by the time we got to the festival
I needed to get myself like slay and ready again.
4 or 5 maybe on
Yeah,
Saturday.
it was quite late.
And so then basically all that great, Disclosure were fab. Then we end up...
Oh my God.
Up the hill at the Bimble Inn.
We said to our mate Henry...
King Henry, by the way, because this changed the trajectory of our lives forever.
Yeah.
That was 100% Henry's decision.
Take us somewhere rogue. Take us somewhere naughty. Take us somewhere where the music is going to be
And also there were lots of queues again for lots of certain things. We were so mindful that it could be the same thing as Friday. We were a bigger group.
We didn't want to go to the same place.
So there were like 10 of us. Yeah, we never wanted to emulate what we'd done the day before. So we were like, let's not chase that. There's so many options.
Yes.
Let's just compartmentalise that in our head. Best night ever. Let's have an even better night ever. And we did. So we had quite a few friends join us at this point. I would say there was a good like 8 to 10 of us in total.
Yeah.
Because we'd had a few different friends who were either there or like they were also there with different brands. So, like, we'd all jumped together and a lot of them had never been before. So it was very much poor old Henry, like he was the decision maker and was panicking a bit. He claims he wasn't and you were. And so I basically was just like, just think about where we would want to go, like what's going to be great for us and everyone else will love that vibe, don't panic. It's like, okay, Bimble Inn, but it's a half-an-hour walk away. Like, can you imagine being on a night out in London and being like, trust me, group I've never met, I'm just going to walk for half an hour.
You just wouldn't do that. You'd be like, I'm going home.
That's like genuinely partying in like East and being like, oh, I'm just going to chance it and see if there's something in West. Like,
yeah, and all walk there on the motorway. You just wouldn't do it. But obviously, we're at Mr. McGorry's Wonder Emporium. He said half an hour. I said, make it an hour.
Yeah,
let's go.
In it.
Right.
So we're walking all the way up the hill.
Yeah.
Which has a beautiful view of the entire... Is it a town, Glastonbury, or city, or what?
Shall I Google it?
Yeah, the whole planet Earth called
You
Glastonbury.
tell the story, I'm going to Google it.
So then we end up, and how would you describe the Bimble Inn? It's literally like a tent, and it turns out it's called the Bimble Inn. We'd been calling it Amber Inn when he said it, but it turns out...
Yeah, we thought it was called Amber Inn for time.
It is an inn, as in... When the club finishes at 6 a.m, you're allowed to just sleep in there. They put out camp beds and you can sleep in it like it's an inn.
Yes.
So we go inside, and how would you describe it? It was like reggae, drum and bass.
Guys, yeah.
I've never known
It was
music
reggae,
like
it was that. It was reggae meets drum and bass. Two things that should not go together.
Two genres that I couldn't tell you an absolute
As in,
about.
yeah, it's like putting chicken tikka on pizza. What's going on?
That would probably slap, actually, as well.
And so did the Bimble Inn, so it makes sense.
Yeah.
It was sick. It was this little teepee tent that you would go past and be like, what is that?
Who would go in there? Like, it's the kind of thing that you'd be like, oh, cool, like, you're just going to pop into the pub at Glasgow, like, get a grip, go rave.
Yeah.
No. Raving was invented
At the Bimble
At the Bimble
Inn.
Inn, as in raving didn't exist before Saturday night, I don't
And bear in mind, this particular TP tent, right, at the Bimble Inn is on a slant that's like that.
It's like an 85 degrees.
When I tell you, you're practically surfing like this.
Cowabunga, dude.
You're raving like this the entire night, and it's so lit.
Our quads were done out the next morning.
Done out.
So you're having to rave like this, and if you're like slightly off it, it only takes, we really are throwing our hips around, it takes a slight gyration and you're completely off kilter. Multiple friends fell over whilst dancing.
Just everyone like bowling pins.
You know,
just going
you know when I'm a Celebrity on the very last, one of the ones right near the end, when they're like having to go uphill and there's all that water pushing down, they have to collect the stars. That's way easier than dancing at the
yeah, so true. It was just the sickest place.
And also, it was not that, like, it was probably only about, what, like, 20 metres long? It wasn't a big place.
No, it wasn't big.
But the more that you walked in, again, like NYC down low, it kept loading.
Yeah.
It was just more buffering. Like, somehow, the closer we got to the stage, the further the stage got away.
Yeah.
I don't understand it. And then the later the night got on, it was mostly a female DJ at points as well, which was iconic.
Which was
playing reggae, drum and bass. But whilst doing that, she started picking up 2 metal pans and throwing sand around and playing with the set of June 2. As in, it absolutely blew my mind.
It was
like something off Art Attack that Neil Buchanan would be like, here's what I made earlier.
What I made earlier. It was
unreal.
Mental. We were just like, when does this end?
And luckily it doesn't.
No, it doesn't. But I was
it's still on a replay in my head.
Yeah, is she now going to get on a trapeze and do this while...
Yeah, that was Pink.
She just, she just kept going and going. It was so sick. So then we were like, another night.
So also at this point, because we'd said, for some reason, we just calling everything BBL fuckeries and going, BBL fuckeries. Then it became Bimble Inn fuckeries.
Yes.
Or Bimble Inn Drizzy.
Yeah.
And then obviously because of the Trilby we had, Bimble Inn Drizzy, Bimble Inn Trilby. So there's just lots of iterations of complete brain rot.
Yeah.
To us, it was like total joy. It was euphoria. Like, you discover a new one.
Every 5 minutes.
At least came up with the Bimble stands.
Yes,
because you were so... Well, it's because I, for some reason, was just sitting...
Oh, mate, Elise
I was just like stretching out... I'll cover this, sorry. But I was like stretching out my groin at one point and she went, oh, that's obviously the Bimble stands. And I was like, of course that's the Bimble stands. We drank Bimble water from the bar. It was the best water we've ever tasted.
Everything about it was just hilarious. Like, so then we came out, the sun was rising yet again.
No, it was fully up.
Was it up?
We were out at 6 a.m.
Shows where I was at.
Yeah.
I came out, I remember I said to Chris, I need 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Very much, it's 6 a.m, of course I need 5 minutes. I need...
You need an IV drip.
An IV drip, A&E, and to go home.
Yeah.
Right? But I said, I need 5 minutes. God, I've been raving. So we came out and we saw people. We then realised that you could stay at the Bimble Inn.
This was what was bonkers. We just kept seeing groups of... It was always 3 people.
It was really
And they
weird.
were all dressed so differently, each core of 3, as if they were like at Eurovision. It'd be like, oh, you're so Finnish.
Yes.
And you're so Icelandic.
Yeah. One man would come out like in a medieval metal like piece of armour.
And then another would look like they were a hippie.
Yeah, and then another would come out as a French poet.
Right,
and you'd be like, what is going on here?
But also, who are we to question greatness? Like, God works in mysterious ways, clearly, because he invented the Bimble Inn. So it was just phenomenal. And we were like, oh, my God, actually, maybe we could sleep here.
Yeah, and every person that came out, I literally went to them, oh, my God, like, how do I get a place to stay at the Bimble Inn?
And they went, it's just first come, first serve. So you could stay at the Bimble Inn. I'm actually glad we didn't, because I think maybe we'd have lost the magic. If you wake up in the Bimble Inn at 11 a.m...
I agree.
The fact that we got to just see it as like, wow, that's it.
Yeah, it's a lesson in, like, stop while you're having the best time.
Yeah, which, do you know what?
I actually think we always did, yeah.
Because there would have been situations where we could have gone on and found, like, someone's tent or, like, some little... There are so many things going on.
Yes.
That, like, officially, I think it stops at 6.
Yes.
We'd have easily been able to find things to do till 8, but we went, no, do you know what?
Well, I kept saying that to you. At
you
one
wanted
point...
to just keep going and going and going. I've realised 6 a.m, this as if I'm the sensible one for saying this, 6 a.m. is a really good finish time every night for me. But it is. 6 a.m. is such a good... I'm happy now. I'm going to go to sleep. I'm going to wake up at 11:30. I'm going to get about 4 hours sleep. Because by the time we've got back, it's an hour and a half.
And then you're going to go again.
And I'm going to go again. I'm going to take my electrolytes. I'm going to take my milk thistle. I'm going to take my 5-HTP. I'm going to have my Alka-Seltzer.
Oh, my God, guys.
I had a full apothecary set up.
She was... She was...
Call me what you want.
Literally. He was a pharmacy. As in, we'd get back in and I'd be, obviously,
in disarray.
bibbling drizzy all around the gaff. Yeah. He would go to me, Ash, sit down, and he'd give me all of these multivitamins, everything that I would need. I'd wake up like this.
I've realised my love language
ready to go
through
again.
This. Genuinely, that weekend is like me doing acts of service. It's like I like to feel useful.
You're an
so
acts of service man.
If I know that I have all these things that I'm like, trust me, you're gonna. It's also like somewhat self-serving because you're gonna feel better, which means we're all gonna have a better time tomorrow. But like, I just know going, Bird, I've made you this little potion, just neck it, trust me. And we felt golden the next. I felt better every day I woke up.
Yeah, it was so good.
Unreal.
And then the last day.
So this was, we missed Shania because we slept through, which was not the worst thing in the world because I went to see Shania at Hyde Park yesterday and she was on some kind of apothecary that I don't run, I tell you that for free.
Oh, wait, what do you mean?
She was just out of her tree.
Was she?
She just was like, it was iconic, but like, she would just... There was a huge actual like plastic tree that's part of the set of the Hyde Park stage. And she just kept like going up to it and hugging it and going, oh, I don't think it's real. Well, it's big and I believe in it, so... So my next song, as in, honestly...
Tell me you smoked a joint before going on to your set without telling me.
Yeah, tell me that mentally you're at the Bin Berlin whilst performing at Hyde Park. Her skirt was shorter than these shorts. Her pants were out the entire time.
I'm not going to lie, though,
she looked unreal.
Lit.
Unreal. She looked like if you...
Shania Twain's aging backwards. Yeah. I think she's Benjamin Button.
She looks a bit like if you drew Cheryl Cole from memory, I think, at the moment. Like, it's like if you drew... If you
drew Cheryl Cole from memory.
If you drew Cheryl Cole and then got a rubber and kind of just, like, blurred the edges, I think that's what she looks like.
That's what she looks like.
Which is, by the way, a good thing. Anyway, so...
Do you think you could draw Cheryl Cole from memory?
Well, it would be Shania, like I said. So therefore, what I'm saying is we didn't miss too much.
Right.
We went to see Burner.
Yeah.
I didn't realise I know every Burner song ever.
I told you.
I know, but I've also always forget that he sings on Jerusalem. I don't know how you pronounce. I don't know how you sing.
Oh yes. That tune
like,
is so good.
Just my
and obviously you can imagine, yeah. Imagine that live. Oh.
It was so.
I fell apart.
He was brilliant. He really ate the stage.
My hips didn't lie as well. I've never danced better than I did at Burner's set.
SZA, I also really enjoyed.
So did I. And why is everyone slating SZA's set?
I think the thing with this is SZA... Well, I heard rumours apparently yesterday that it was supposed to be Madonna. I don't know how true this is on the Sunday. She then pulled out for whatever reason, and because they didn't want to get another bloke in, because they've had a lot of criticism before for it being very male-heavy, they bumped SZA's set up to headliner, which she wasn't going to be originally, which would make sense.
SZA is SZA.
I thought she was great, but also the big thing is, so she was the Sunday. The day before that, she performed at Hyde Park, British Summertime.
Right.
And her audience is not, on average, the same demographic as your Glastonbury going on.
I agree.
It's a very white audience, isn't it, Glasgow?
Yeah.
So, and the other big thing is, most festivals, you buy your tickets off the back of who's headlining. Glasgow's tickets always sell out before the lineup's revealed. So, people weren't active. Like, the average goer to Glastonbury is not someone that is a massive SZA stan, in my opinion.
I agree.
I thought she was great.
As in,
we loved it.
I don't think anyone denies
it was more just that people said,
performing ability or vocal ability. She's sick. I think the point is for her
the audience wasn't massive, is the point.
No, and the point was for her to have performed on a Sunday.
Yes.
Where everyone, by this point, it was like 8 p.m, wasn't it? I think people were just ready to send it.
Yeah, and she's quite like demure. The whole set is her sitting in a tree.
As in, it's like lit R&B vibes that you want to listen to with your man when you're chilling.
Right.
Or me and you when we're lip sync.
Your man, yeah.
Not necessarily when you're on the last day of a festival and you're trying to keep the rave up.
No,
that's what I think was the
fairly
issue.
soon after Burner as well, who was like the highest energy in the world.
Yeah.
I have nothing but good things to say about SZA's set. I thought it was great.
I loved it.
And then what did we do after that? Obviously,
it was just more chill, which Lord knows we needed at that point.
Then that was the night we ended up going up to Arcadia. I levitated out of my body, thought I was about to burst into flames like a phoenix.
Yeah.
Started to chew on my own hand. I also wonder if that's because I was hungry, because I realised at this point, on the Saturday I'd had a breakfast, not eating again until the Sunday morning when I had half a cupcake.
Nothing
and then
makes
didn't eat
you
again
skinnier, guys.
until the Monday. As in, I lost 4 kilograms at Glasgow. I've not put them back on yet. No, not yet. I've not put them back on, full stop, period.
yeah, it is. As in, I've been saying Did you see on my story I said I need to do Glastonbury once every 3 months?
I need to do it once every 3 hours. It is the diet.
It's so good.
Correct.
But basically, I mean, I think that is the roundup. We obviously ended up back at the Bimberlin for the last night because we were just like, there's no place we'd rather be.
And because it's right up on the hill, like, particularly on the last day, everyone goes up there and like, just watches the world. And also sitting up there, it's one thing to people watch at an all-inclusive hotel, which is really good fun. Oh. But it's a whole other kettle of fish.
To what
sit at the
do
top
people
of that
watch
mountain,
at Glastonbury?
And, yeah, but at 7 a.m. on the last night, watching people... Do you remember that man who just went rolling down the hill?
As in, it's like watching 10 different films of completely different genres.
All on reverse.
Yeah, yeah.
And kind of like... as they were morphing between MP4 and VHS. So
Yes.
it's just this
in minus 10 megapixels.
Yeah.
It was mental.
But also complete clarity.
We got there, as in we're walking up to the hill just to catch the last bit of like, oh, the sun is rising, this is so gorgeous, it's our last day, let's just take it all in. Some, I would say, 56-year-old man, something that was quite specific,
yeah.
Literally
6.5, I would
was
say.
just rolling down the hill by
As in,
himself.
on his side, like he was an Apple turnover. I didn't understand it. He
So
just going
I'm
and going.
at the bottom
As in,
of
if
the
someone had
hill.
been standing there. Yeah, you were coming up with
I'm
Chris.
at the bottom of the hill with Chris like this. I went, what do I do here?
If you had
do
to
I
move
jump?
out the way-
Do I roll over?
Yeah.
I was going to jump it, but then I realised my legs would have given way.
Yeah.
So I just went, and he went,
And he just kept rolling.
and just kept rolling all the way down.
Wow.
Wow.
What a man, what
Does
a
that
lad.
not just sum up our time there?
Correct.
It was so good.
So then we go back home, get a few hours sleep, say goodbye to Barry, our king, have some more gorgeous food.
Yeah.
It was called The Lion, by the way. I think it's in Pennard, P-E-N-N-A-R-D. Can't recommend it enough.
The most gorgeous B&B
really, genuinely,
ever.
like, I really hope we get to go back there again.
Proper British pub stay. You know the scene in The Holiday?
Yeah, very that.
It's very that. Like, if you're an American person and you want to go and experience countryside British stay.
But also sometimes that can mean, like, at least for gays, it's not always the most comfortable thing in the world, that kind of environment.
Right, oh, no.
It didn't feel like that at all. We were made to feel so comfy. Like, there was
so
no
good.
demand was too much. Wine for breakfast, which obviously is a big tick in my book.
5 stars, I would say.
6,
yeah.
Yeah, it was just unbelievable, and we've just not been able to stop talking about it, trying to persuade everyone. I'm actually really proud of us. I feel like the propaganda with which we've managed to push Spotify, because we love Spotify, but Glastonbury, everyone we've seen...
He's actually still at the Bimberlin mentally.
And that's fine. I don't think I'll ever leave, but everyone we've seen since has been like, I've never had FOMO of Glasgow before until this year. And I've never really been asked before when people have said about it. It's just not been on my radar.
No.
But now I've been, it really has, like, it's changed my life a bit.
Yeah, me too, but I think the inclusivity thing is a real thing as well.
I agree.
I think festivals have their own vibe. Don't you think?
Yeah,
like, every festival has...
that don't need to be named that I wouldn't feel super comfortable getting smashed and, like, dancing how I want to dance at. Didn't feel like that at Glasgow whatsoever.
It's one of those where I do genuinely think there is something for everyone there, which I love.
And also, it is inherently quite white, but I won't speak for you, but it didn't feel like...
No,
And when we
not
spoke
at
to the girls
all.
as well, the black girls we were with, they said they felt very comfortable.
Yeah.
Which is worth pointing out, because I think a lot of the time you
So
don't
actually, that's a message to the black girlies, to the sisters.
Get yourself there.
Get yourself at Glasgow. It's actually lit.
Yeah.
And there also is just... I couldn't believe the genres of music that I found I liked. When I tell you...
Drum and bass, in what world?
Drum and bass, am I okay? And the fact that I wanted it up my arse, it was so, so good. So, here are the takeaways.
Right.
Music is better when it's up your arse.
As are...
Everybody needs to be a bit more cheeky.
Yeah.
Anything can be a hat if you try hard enough.
Try hard enough.
What's the 4th?
Bimberlin is a way of life, not just a club.
Yeah.
Charli XCX should be the leader of the Green Party.
And it's a brat
It is a
summer.
big brat summer.
And that's our over and out, I think.
Yeah, it just... Honestly, I will beg, borrow and steal to be there next year, but at the exact same time, maybe I should never go back.
Do you know what?
I'm a little bit of that mindset. I'm not
I know. Really?
It was so incredible. You know that, because particularly for my personality, you know this, I don't watch films twice. I don't listen, obviously I listen to the same music, but like, I don't ever watch the same TV show.
If you had a good time doing it once,
so when we go on holidays, we never go back to the same place.
No.
We always try somewhere new, even if we love a place. When people ask me for restaurant recommendations in London, I'm like, I don't really have them because I try to go and try many different places all the time. So part of me is like,
do we just leave it there, never go back?
It was so perfect. Our little squad of 4 with Chris and Hen, I've never, like, it was amazing. And I just, yeah.
I know. Also what?
Also mind your business when you're rolling down the
become chairman of Glastonbury for the next 10 years.
Also me, morphed into a hill. So I have to be at Glastonbury all year round.
And on that note, thank you guys so much for watching that actual descent into hell.
Yeah, for enduring that.
Yeah, like, comment, subscribe if you're watching. Please leave me 5 stars if you're listening. We need to get this listenership up, guys. Honestly, so when I say tell your nan, tell your dad, tell your granddad, I'm not fucking around.
Yeah.
Okay? I love you all, but seriously, if you are loving the pod, send it to a mate, send it to your mum, send it to your dad. It would be so nice to have more people hear our voices and our shitty stories. I love you all. Mwah.